Tua going deep. Oh, he's got Hill! He's got Hill! That is 6! Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Should he be at the top of the MVP combo at this point?
Absolutely, right with Patrick Mahomes.
He's the highest rated prep quarterback in Hawaii history. St. Louis class of 2017 All-State standout Tua Tagovailoa entered another universe Sunday as Elite 11 MVP.
We're going to go ahead and let you know that you are the Elite 11 champion. And the 16 Elite 11.
Well, it's time to end the suspense. Where will you be in 2017?
Well, first and foremost, before I make my decision, all glory and praise goes to God. I will be making my commitment to the University of Alabama.
Roll Tide. It is the defending national champions. Congratulations, Tua. Congratulations, Alabama.
From what I've seen from Tua, he's very accurate. He's got a very tight spiral.
First Alabama pass is a completion to Robert Foster, close to a first down.
Ball placement's everything with this kid, and he's shown that he can deliver a nice pass to his players.
Scanning the field, he had all kinds of time, and now he's running out of it. He's still going to rip it downfield. Touchdown, Alabama! Devontae Smith. Looked like Steve Young there for a second.
Now, do you think it's harder though going from a right-hander in Jalen Hurts than to a left-hander in Tua, and then back and forth for these receivers?
Yeah, I say in a game for sure. You're going to get a guy, number one, that has a strength of rolling to the left, where Jalen would normally roll to the right. So there's an advantage.
Number 4 and going to the playoff will be the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's been in every playoff now.
The Georgia Bulldogs, hungry to taste the school's first title in 37 seasons. The Alabama Crimson Tide driven to strengthen a decade-long dynasty with a 5th title in 9 years. Take a look at the backfield. Wanted to throw downfield. Hit and sack from the blind side.
I could not believe how awful Alabama's offense looked in the first half. I went from picking them to win the game to wondering whether or not they were going to score.
We just can't move the ball effectively. We haven't been able to throw it effectively at all, so get things fixed at halftime.
When did you find out that you were going in?
I found out when we were in the locker room. Coach brought the quarterbacks together, and he made the statement that, Tua, you're going to start out the second half. And
Tagovailoa has all night.
The kid is special. There's a new quarterback in Alabama.
And now he's in the clear. The freshman shows some toughness, creating touchdown.
And then Nick Saban showed why he's so great, because he had the courage to make the call.
Surveying the field, fires end zone, touchdown! Tagovailoa trying to make up for it.
Nobody stayed inside, and I took a shot downfield and he caught it.
Fires to the end zone.
Oh my God.
Got him.
Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Tua probably couldn't have thrown that pass if I could have got a hold of him after he took the sack, but I couldn't get out there fast enough.
I'd just like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. With him, all things are possible, and that's what happened tonight,
I certainly could say this about Jalen Hurts. He's an athlete, an extraordinary athlete. But this kid Tua listen, he's better.
To me, is the guy that looks like he has real upside, very talented. And based on everything I know, I think he'd probably win the competition, and he's favored to do so.
Right?
I've heard the word relentless a few times today. What does that mean to this team? What is your definition of it?
That means doing things, leading by example. But doing things to the best capability that you possibly can. Going 100% every time.
Spins away, throws to the end zone. A risky throw, caught for a touchdown. There are some flags in late. It was Judy on the receiving end.
And without further ado, with lots of prayers, thoughts, and guidance, I have decided that I will be declaring and entering the 2020 NFL Draft. My 3 years at the University of Alabama have been the epitome of a roller coaster. I've had a fair share of ups, of many ups and a handful of downs, and I couldn't be happier to know that with all the success and failures I've had here at the university, it has prepared me for life in general.
The Dolphins make it official, going with Tua Tagovailoa at number 5. Brady, the tape doesn't lie, and you love his tape.
I love the tape. I love the pick. I love the fit. And I think, also, this is also something that makes a lot of sense.
On 3rd and goal to the end zone. Touchdown. There is a flag. So it is the first NFL touchdown pass for Tua Tagovailoa.
So much recent speculation, but for how long have you been working toward this moment?
Before I say anything, I just like to give all glory to God for all of this. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Man, this has been a dream growing up. My entire life, working hard, tirelessly with my father. And the support that I had with my mom as well in this, it's been a journey. It's been a tough one, especially going through a lot of adversity. But it's really good. It's cool that I know where I'm going to be now. I'm really excited.
I know it's a small sample size, but very impressive from Tua this past weekend. What are you hearing around the sport about these rookie QBs?
I think it's a great young crop of quarterbacks. You look at Tua last weekend, justifying the decision to go to him, and I think a lot of people wondered if the Dolphins were making the right move. And clearly, when you watch them play, it looked like they were. It looked like they knew something that other people didn't. Tua was very impressive in that win.
Tua looked like he belonged with him. When you get a guy who's, in spite of facing Herbert and Kyler Murray, and is 3-0, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Who would you model your NFL game after? Who's an inspiration for you at the NFL level?
I get to talk to these 3 guys. It's not just one guy, but I got to talk to Russell Wilson, Marcus, and Drew Brees. And so, kind of getting their insight on things. I ask questions. I mean, they're more than happy to answer them. What's so intriguing about those 3 guys is what's off the field with them.
I like what I'm seeing. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, completing about 63% of his passes. He has not been awful by any stretch of the imagination, but he hasn't been electrifying either.
I think he's the real deal. He looks like the real deal to me. And, you have teams with really good defenses. They can't get anything done on the offense, and they lose games. He's 3-0.
Fake it. Tagovailoa connects with Bodie.
And that's why, he's faced all different kinds of NFL defenses so far, and each time he's done what he's needed to do.
Dolphins trying to cash in. Tagovailoa steps up, cuts, and scores!
Miami's beaten them. Miami's won, 4 in a row? Mm-hmm. They are a good football team, and they're beating good teams.
He's got it. 10-5, and pushed out of bounds is Mac Holland. No, he's ruled a touchdown. He did not go out of bounds.
Do you ever look back at the journey that you've been on and think about how even moments like this have made you who you are?
I think it's been crazy for myself with the journey that I've had to go through to get to where I'm at now, and continuing to go through things, on this journey. But now I think it's cool to be able to reflect on a lot of the hard times, and when I do get into situations where it is a hard time, I can reflect back on what I did, what helped me mentally, physically to get back and get prepared to come out and play the game. I love football.
2nd down 1, the fake, and here comes the easy rock into the end zone. Tagovailoa, a 3-yard touchdown run.
Let's go today now.
There are a lot of ups and downs in a lot of people's first couple years in the league. What's your biggest takeaway that you learned about yourself throughout the whole process thus far?
The biggest thing I learned about myself is, you got to be consistent in this league. You can't get away with things that you used to get away with in college. You got to do a lot of the lonely work. That's the key word for me is lonely work.
Hey, we just got to go pull one together.
You got to hold your own meetings with, the linemen. You got to hold your receivers back after practice so you guys can get the timing down. And also working on little things like 3rd down conversions, and also, trying to get better in the red area.
Now going to pull it down and run. Inside the 40 and bowls over a tackler.
The Dolphins become the first team in NFL history
to lose 7 in a row and win 7 in a row in the same season. Now that's just nuts.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
What do you think is the future for Tua? You think he's the long-term answer for the Dolphins?
I don't, and I hate to say that because I sat here a couple of years ago extolling his virtues, but ultimately some of the same issues that befell him in college are bothering him in the pros to even a larger degree. So
it is now official. The Chiefs are trading Tyreek to the Dolphins. Here's the good news. For 5 picks.
The Dolphins are making plays. Just yesterday, I believe they spent 5 years, $75 million on Armstead, the tackle, to bring him down to Miami.
And another domino falls. Multiple reports now indicating that the Dolphins will be hiring 49ers offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel to be the team's next head coach.
My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be work, but I know you're not afraid of that. So this is an awesome day for me. And I'm sure going to make sure that when you look back on this day, you're going to be like, that was one of the best days of my career, too.
I rather play with the most accurate quarterback in the NFL now. He takes the time to make up in other areas and be great in those other areas that, other quarterbacks may not be good at.
It always felt like they're trying to move on to somebody they feel like can do something more for their franchise. Now, can Tua continue to develop as a quarterback and become a very good quarterback? I believe that's possible. But right now in the NFL, nobody's patient.
The focus was what when you had all of that offseason time to just get better, to improve Tua, the quarterback on the field? What were you focusing on?
On mechanics, footwork, trying to understand the playbook better, trying to understand the timing of how certain guys run certain routes, trying to get on the same page with them, and really just trying to hone in on the offense.
Tua throwing this side of the field, wide open at the 25-yard line. The pass is caught by Tyreek Hill.
Are the Dolphins for real, Jeff Saturday? They are a legit contender in the AFC.
They are legit contenders.
I don't know if I really love this decision.
Over the middle, got his man, and look at him go! Jalen Waddle for the touchdown!
I handle that internally now, whatever I can use as fuel, whatever I think I can use this as fuel for myself, I will. If not, I won't. But I take receipts. I take receipts.
We saw him against the Patriots defense last week. He did enough. They got the win. Is this a tougher test for him, though, this week against this Ravens team?
Oh, absolutely.
Tua going deep. Oh, he's got Hill! He's got Hill! That is 6!
Yeah, they came back from down 21 in the fourth quarter. Tua was throwing it all over the place. All the doubt, all the haters this offseason, doesn't matter.
Going, he's got him! He's got him!
Tua went out there and proved that he can lead this team to the promised land. Even after throwing 2 early interceptions, his coach didn't doubt him. He said, Tua, I need you to go out there and sink or swim. And Tua swam with the best of them.
Blocked by Armstead. Tua to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown! Caught for the touchdown! Waddle! Miami has taken the lead!
But if that's a game late in the fourth quarter, which no one else has given Buffalo so far this year, maybe even that says something about the Dolphins.
Blocked by Armstead. To the end zone. Back for the touchdown! Time. Deep. Oh, he's got Waddle! Inside the 10! 45 yards! Miami is won! Zeros on the clock!
And, Well, we saw last week, and he went down, he got up, was wobbly, the training staff comes out.
I was unconscious, so I couldn't, really tell what was going on. I'm just really excited that I can prepare and, play.
Are the Dolphins dangerous with Tua back at quarterback?
I believe they are. I believe they are because I think that, first of all, he can throw the long ball with accuracy. Secondly, there seems to be a little something extra from Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle when he's on the football field.
Has it to the end zone. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. Flip it, baby.
Looking at are the Dolphins dangerous with Tua back? Yes, because it doesn't get too much more dangerous than Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle on their A game. And Tua seems to bring that out in both of
them. The accuracy, the timing, the touch, the placement of the throws is as good as we've seen, candidly, since Drew Brees.
Should he be at the top of the MVP convo at this point?
Absolutely, right with Patrick Mahomes. Let's go! Let's go!